continuum. Your mindset affects your behavior affects your outcome. The challenge that we have is people want to change the outcome. I want you to respect me. I want you to tell me this. I want you to love me. We want to change the outcome. No, you can't change the outcome. What do you need to do? You change the mindset. When the mindset changes, you change the behavior. When the behavior changes, your outcome will shape. It will respond to you. You know how it is. I mean, look at it today. We're all, if I took you to some other places, you all have your jackets on and be sitting like this. No matter how energetically I'm speaking, because it will be cold. What happens when December comes? Nobody tells you put on your jacket. Yeah? The weather, it has changed. The wind, the cold automatically you change, you dress to suit it. The same way when you change something, when you change your behavior, that everything around you will respond to what you're giving it. So we want it, many times we want to physically, don't go that way. You don't physically change it. Change the mindset, change the behavior. Something changes. Okay? So you cannot rise above the level of your thoughts. Really important. People look at Barack Obama, he's the president. I mean, I love him so much, because I see so much love between him and his wife, and so, but, he wouldn't have been the president if it never entered his mind. There's no way. There's no way. You think somebody would have just gone and said, you, this black man, you speak so well, we're going to make you the president of the United States. Nah, it's never going to happen. You cannot rise above the level of your thoughts. If you cannot see it, you can't get it. Anywhere you cannot go in your mind, you can't get it. If you've never seen you free, if you've never seen the thoughts, we are conditioned by our thoughts. And that's why I'm saying that our mindset, we have to debug it. Really important. You can't rise above the level of your thought. So our mindset affects our behavior, and our behavior affects our outcome. And what I'm saying is that if the outcome is the life you have today. Okay? Now, some of us are brilliant and fantastic. We're enjoying our life. Life is good. Everything is great. Just listen to me. At 5 or 4:30, we have some snacks. Get to meet a new friends, and you go. And that's brilliant. But somebody might be here who is saying, maybe in my relationship, maybe my relationship with my children, maybe my relationship with my boss, maybe my relationship with myself. Do you see? There is something, the outcome I'm having, I don't like it. This is what we're looking at today. That how can we uncover the mindset that is influencing the behavior that you have. So that when we unlock that, then we can begin to unlock and to change that outcome. Okay, so it's like reverse, step. Okay, so I'm going to go to my other slide again. Remember I said technology was trying to mess me up. So I have, now if you change this for me on your system, because I told you, I just did this up, I wrote this up, social frame of mind window, but when I was going through it, I changed it again. So if you change it on your sheets to social life outlook window, okay? So it's a life outlook window. If you change that title to social life outlook window. Okay? So we have what I call a continuum. It's a continuum, We have from pessimist to optimist. So it's a continuum, and that's how it goes. For example, for those of you, who have listened to, Bible stories when you were growing up, we know the story of Joshua and Caleb and the 12 spies that were sent to go and spy out the land. When they came back, what did they say? They said, that the land consumed us, that the fruits were as big as this, the men were as big as giants. We were like little rats, like ants before them. Are you hear what I'm saying? So 12 spies were sent to go and spy out a land. Was it 10 of them that came back? Or 12 of them came back? Yes. And they said the land was terrible. We were like little ants before them. So that is at the extreme of the pessimist. The pessimist. So all the pessimist is the person who focuses on what they can't do, focuses on what they don't have. And one of the characteristics of pessimism is exaggeration. We exaggerate our problems. We exaggerate what we don't have. My English is not good. Oh, so we exaggerate, how bad as. And now when I'm saying how bad, it don't mean it's not bad. Because some women have been threatened with a knife to their throats at home. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay? So don't get me wrong that, you don't even want to know some situations. We all wear jackets and come out here looking good. If we sit down here and tell each other our stories, we'll probably have a cry party. No, I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking. I'm we will have a cry party. Seriously. Because you would just be amazed, at how much we are enduring and going through as women. And people ask me, why do you do all I just see, injustice to women, and something inside me just can't sit down. And I'm saying that, no, we're human beings. We're human beings, and we should be treated like that. I feel that the female person has to be equally valued and respected. So we all have different things that, we will fight for. Some of us is our kids. Some of us is education, So we all believe different things. For me, this is my red flag. Once I just see it, I go, boom. So they know how to provoke me. They just say something and I go, no! I just step in. And then I was only pulling your legs. I said, okay. Somebody does that in church, Carl. Oh my God. He just said, you should. He said, I was just pulling your legs. So what we see is that at the extreme of this mindset, the mindset has two extremes. It's a continuum. There's a mindset that is completely negative. It's completely, everything is bad. My life is a waste. It's all over. I'm going. So and then we have the other extreme. Everything is all good. I'm grand. Life is brilliant and fantastic. So it's a continuum. What we are looking for is, how do we find the middle ground? Because remember, anything we do in excess is bad. If you're hungry, food is good. But if you eat too much, I used to say to myself, overfeeding causes fainting. When you eat too much, you see now you're making like this. There was a day, I was so hungry and I cooked really lovely soup, and my boys, they love my soup. They say, Mommy, that's the best soup in the whole wide world, so 10 and 9, so they really are their champion, And so when I finished cooking that day, we all sat down, we ate ourselves silly. Then we finished eating and we all sat down on the table. Nobody moved, and we were all sitting down staring at each other. So anything we do in excess is bad. Okay, so continue. Pessimist is the person, everything is all bad. They are extremely negative about their exaggeration. But on the other hand, these people are extremely exaggerate the positive as well. You see, so it's two. So the thing that characterizes both ends is an exaggeration. Okay, so one over-exaggerates the negative, the other one over-exaggerates the positive. Okay, because that's why many church people, the American system of positive thinking, they say, oh, we don't do positive thinking. I say, yeah, that's because it's an over-exaggeration. That's why. But positive thinking is good. It's good when it is done in what? Moderation. What did the Bible say? It says, whatsoever is good, whatsoever is pure, whatsoever is praiseworthy. What did he say? Think on this. Don't go sitting and thinking. You didn't say, you sit down there and say, my life is miserable. Okay, I'm going to be happy, my life is miserable. Who sent you? No. Nobody sent you. Do you understand what I mean? So it's about a balance. So positive thinking is good. Don't go sitting down thinking, you just make that is not holiness. Some people think, I'm a better. No, it doesn't make you holy. It doesn't make you more Christian. It doesn't make you more empty. It just makes you more miserable. It makes you more miserable. And it makes everybody around you hate the religion that you say you have because they're like, it's not working. Look at her life. She's so miserable. Like, you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's about that. So there's a balance. Okay? So we see that there are two sides. So some people are very high, on the positive outlook. And for some people, they are very high on the negative outlook. Yeah? So what we are looking at is, how can we find a balance? Yes? Because the pessimist is the one who completely says everything is bad. I have nothing. I am nothing. The optimist says everything is good. The escapist says, I don't know. I don't know. So they avoid, they have no comment, they have no ideas, they have no opinion. Okay? For example, I gave us an example of a pessimist. For example, of an escapist. I don't know many of us who know the story, from Sunday school and all that, you would know the story of the man who was at the pool of Bethesda. He was sitting at the pool and this man was lame. But he knew that once a while, the angel comes and stirs the water, and the first person who jumps inside the pool, guess where? See, those stories are put there not just to excite us, they are put there to show us principles. So when I go, I read them, I pick the principle. I'm like, what is this story saying? When you read it, let the story speak to you. Don't just read it. It's not like Avatar that we're watching, or Pretty Woman, It's not Avatar. Don't read it like Avatar, or whatever movies are on now. No, read it and ask yourself, what is the lesson here? There's a lesson for us to be able to live successful lives. Now, this is not religion. This is not about religion. This is about how can you live a successful life. One of the things I say that drives me to want to do this is that I say every time, I've been in college for the past 7 years of my life. I'm like, I've turned into a professional student, I've done a diploma, I've done a postgrad, I've done a master's, now I'm engaged to do my PhD, I'm doing my PhD. So I'm like, God almighty, when are you going to stop? Another 3 years to go. But we need to go to this and look at it, as information, that will give us the key, to move to the next level of our life. So this man stayed there. He said that when an angel comes and stirs the water, the first person in gets healed. And I was wondering, okay, so you're lame. But before the water gets there, there was nothing that says that the first person who is inside the water already doesn't get healed. I said, so what about, if he got somebody to put him in there and he hangs in there and say, I'm going to wait until this water gets there. I'm going to, yeah. I'm saying that unless your situation is not bad enough. But I don't know about you, my situation is so bad that I won't change. I'm enough of management. Management without pay. I don't want the life of me. Some of us are very happy with managing. I don't want to manage my life. I want to, when I enter that box, the 6x6 or 6-foot box, when they put me in it, I want to be going happily. Do you understand? Because this girl has lived a full life. It's not about money. See, a full life is not about, it's about being fulfilled. Yes. Okay. So I want to make sure that when I'm going inside that box, I'm going there fulfilled. So I'm saying that anything, my sister died at the age of 46. So imagine if she was saying, oh, tomorrow, oh, tomorrow, oh, tomorrow. Her tomorrows have gone into the grave with her now. And so I'm saying that what we have is now. So what you're doing with your now, for me, is the most important thing. It's not, no, it's about what you're doing with your now. This is what you have. And your now's determine your tomorrow. Don't put it in the hand of the government. Don't put it in the hand of recession. Don't put it in the hand of some children or some man or some sister or some brother. It's rest with you. This man stood there, and when they came and asked him, what is it with you? He said, I have nobody to put me in. So it's not my fault. You see, it's about excuses. And I'm saying, what I'm saying is, I want the wheels inside you to begin to think, how do you live your life? When things are not going right, when things don't go the way you want, what do you say? It's not my fault, it's that stupid man I'm married to. That's why I didn't go to school for the past 12 years. Yeah? Look, I have 4 children. That's why I've not been able to go to school. Do you see? So I'm saying, let the wheels inside us begin to turn. I don't know what you want. For some of us, we just want to be the perfect mom. I'm saying, be that. For some of us, it's a career we want. Be that. I'm saying, whatever you want, how can you be the best in what you want? This is not about competing or being competitive or wanting what somebody else has. It's about your best life today for you. You see, some people will just absolutely go mad if they wear this kind of shoes that I'm wearing. So you know what suits you, and some other people will be very comfortable in it. So I'm just saying that every one of us knows the shoes that suit us. But how can you find it? And I'm saying that you can find it. Rather than wear the one that is pinching your feet, the one that people have given you, you find your own shoes. Okay? So in doing that, I'm saying begin to look at yourself. Where am I in all this? Where are you? Because where I started from is that change is possible. So you can move. You can move. So what we're doing today is raising an awareness for you to see, where are you? Are you the one that always says, it's not my fault, there's nothing I can do. I'm just a woman. So is this you? Or is this you on this side who is the optimist who says, how are you? Grand! Everything is grand! But I go home and my pillow is wet because I'm crying all night. But grand! Like, hey, we have the head in the sky. Oh, I'm brilliant. But no, I'm miserable. But so that's the optimist there. And then the pessimist is like, everything is bad. My life is, an example of an optimist would be, like if we look at Moses and Pharaoh, the guy was an optimist man. He knew there was no way he could stop stop Moses, but he kept trying. Moses would put another plague. He had this picture, I'm going to defeat this man. Even when he knew it was an impossible feat. They had told him, they said, look, this thing, if you are fighting against his God, you can't succeed. But he just kept trying. 12 plagues until his son died. He was a stupid optimist, like. Yeah? And that's what I'm saying. Anything we do in excess is not good. Do you understand? So he was an optimist. He had this picture he had this mindset. It is only Moses. He grew up here. He's a miserable immigrant. Because don't forget, Moses was an immigrant. Yeah. So I'm not just saying it because I'm a woman of color. But Moses really was an immigrant. Do you know what I mean? He was illegal there. He was, his mom put him in a basket and they took him. So he had no right to the throne. He had no right to be in the palace. So he had no right to be there. But they raised him there. So the Pharaoh was like, I raised you, I'm going to destroy you, But he couldn't. So he was a stupid optimist. So I'm saying, so check yourself and see, when it's not working, but you're still doing it. Remember, insanity is what? Doing the same. I do a training in my place of work, my 9 to 5, I have different paths. My 9 to 5 job where I work as a career coach. One of the training, and it's so good because the Lewis line it goes by Abbey Street because I work on O'Connell Street, and so it goes by Abbey Street. So I really am able to give them that example. I say, if you're coming from Tala and you want to come to O'Connell Street and you get on the Lewis and then you see the Lewis is saying Belgrade Road, what do you need to do? Get off! But then the man gets off and gets on the next Lewis coming. What has he done? He's in the same position. What does he need to do? Go towards the other side. For him to come to the city center, what does he need to do? He needs to get off that Lewis, cross over, and get on Louis going in the opposite direction. See, sometimes we feel, I'm already in that direction. You keep going in the wrong direction, it's not going to make it become right. Yeah. You know, so many of us do that. We keep going thinking it's going to just suddenly. No. You become more of what you are. If we started out, not okay, we're going to become more not okay. So what do we need to do? We need to change shapes. And change is the most difficult thing. Look at it. I enter the bus, when I'm going to work. If you enter that bus, every time, you will find me on that same seat. Every day, I enter the bus, I go straight. If you're looking for me on that bus, just look, I'm right there. It's like they stuck my butt. So change, and it's just a simple example for us to see how much we resist change. You think about it, for those of you who go to church or where you go, remember you enter that place, you go straight for the chair you sit on. Straight. We all resist change. But remember, awareness is key. Okay? But we look at a person like Joshua and Caleb. Remember the story of the 12 spies? They looked at it. They went to the same land. And they looked and they said, yeah, the people are plenty. They are more than us in number. But they are afraid of us. They came back with a balanced report. They were able to assess what was happening. Then they came and assessed their own resources. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, that there is a continuum that goes from the optimist to the pessimist. It's a continuum. And so many of us operate in this line. I'm saying that if we want to change, remember mindset, to change your mindset, when you change your mindset, you change your behavior. You change your behavior, you change the outcome. So if the outcome you're getting is not good, you need to look at yourself and say, what behavior? And that's if you don't remember anything today. Remember this one. If you take this key away from here for me today, I will go to bed fulfilled. If you take only this key. I do a training in where I work in Ebun. And many years, I've been working there 6 years now as a career coach. And many years, people come back to me. And the thing they come back to me with is a question I send them home with. I say, never ask the question why. From today, delete that question from your vocabulary. Delete that question. That is the most depressing question you can ever ask. Why did you do it? Why did this happen to me? Why am I stuck in this? Why don't I have this? When you get the answer, what do you? You feel bad. You feel depressed. Yeah. Look at the Wright brothers. They put a plane in the air. Did they ask, why are men not flying in the air like birds? No. What did they ask? They say, how can men fly in the sky like birds? The question you need to take is the question, how? Delete that question, why? It's the most depressing question you can ever ask yourself. Why don't I have a job? Then you go into what they call a pity party. My life is so miserable, nobody likes me. Why am I the only one whose husband beats her? Why am I the only one whose children are not this? Why? So you finish, you are depressed. I have those days when I have my pity party. The only sad thing is that I'm the only one at the party. No guests. People don't agree. I send out the invitations. They don't agree to come for my party. It's like, no, we don't go for pity parties. So just change that question to how. Okay? How? How do I move from here to here? How do I? If I came in here and I said, how do you do? What would you say? Automatically, even when you're not feeling good, you just say, fine. You nod, you look at me. But if I say, why do you do? You might say, bad English. You're like, what? Do you see? So if I say, why do you do? No. Say, how? How do you do? How do I move from here to here? So what I'm saying is, if you don't remember anything, look at whatever outcome you're having in your life. The question you need to begin to ask is, what behavior is maintaining this outcome? Okay? Then you ask yourself, how? Okay? Then you ask yourself, how do I move from this outcome to this outcome? It is so powerful. Your spirit, your mind kicks into action. And you begin to come up with answers of what you need to do to move to the next level. The question you want is how, not why. How do I get this? How do I move on? How do I change this? Take that, but if you take only that, I'll be glad. I'll be glad again. Okay? So we look at them. Why do we need to understand our mindsets? We look at it. The pessimist always is what? Is the victim. That's the pessimist always feels, I'm the victim. You know? The pessimist blames everything. You either blame your culture, you blame your color, you blame man, you blame inequality, you blame children. We blame everything. Is because if I only had 50 euro, I would have done that course. If I only had my mother here reminding my children, I would have gone to college by now. Look around you and see all the women who don't have their mothers here. Some never even knew their mothers at all. They grew up in orphanage homes. You know? So, and when I say that to say this, that it's not easy, you know, when we are faced with the challenges, because I'm the same person who believes that we have inequality of condition. But you have a choice. You either die in your inequality of condition, because your 10 years from now, you will be exactly where you are. But I'm saying that if you're just, forgive my friend, pissed off with this, and you're saying, I want more. I don't want to go down into that hole like this. I don't want to go down never having been fulfilled. Then you need to change something, irrespective of the inequality of condition in your life. Okay? So the pessimist is this is the person, negative, is the person who is always half empty. You know those kind of people? I only have, I only have this. They only, do you understand? They only have this. I can't do this. This is what I don't have. So they focus on what is missing and what they don't have. And that is the pessimist. Okay? The optimist, on the other hand, here has what I call spurts of energy. They have short fuse, plenty of ideas. The optimist is full of ideas, but 99% of the optimist's goals are never achieved. They are bogged down because they have too many plans and too many activities. Okay, so that is the, optimist. The optimist. I gave you the example of Pharaoh and Moses. He kept coming up with different things, and he struggled and struggled. None of his plans came true. Do you understand? So you're bogged down with so many ideas, so many plans. But we have to begin. Then we look at the escapist. The escapist is the one that says, I don't know, I can't. They glide by life. I have nothing. Okay? So they deny responsibility. That's the escapist. And then the optimist has what I call spurts of energy. But look at the balanced person. They take responsibility. They are very motivated. They use and instead of but. When you're talking to somebody, in counseling, one of the things that they taught us is that when you're talking to clients and the client goes but, that means something they didn't get it. So there is a resistance. I don't mean that they are resisting, but that somewhere along the line, whatever you are working on has not gone through. So that means you still got work. You need to start again. The but means that something is, my inner world is not in agreement with what is happening here. So we go back to the process. Okay, let's look at it again and see what's happening. So we go back to the basics and look at it again. Because a but means yeah. So people who are balanced, they use the word and. I don't have this and I have this. Okay, they remember, even when they account for what they don't have, they also say, and I have this. That is the balance. That you come from that place of don't exaggerate it. Most times I have clients, we prepare clients to go for interviews. And clients come and they want to tell you all their problems. I said, look, the employer is not your friend. So the employer is not your friend. So don't go there and tell them how miserable your life is. They're not going to feel sorry for you and employ you. It's not their job. You can tell me I'm your employment officer. So yeah, but when you go there, don't tell them none of those stuff. They want people who are okay, you know. So they use the word and, they are full of energy, they are full of hope, they accomplish their goals, they are positive, and they are focused. You see? See, the difference between this positive and this positive is that this positive exaggerates, yes, but this positive is a balanced positive. Okay? You know, you're not just positive confession and you have this. You don't have it. You don't have it, you don't have it. Okay? Any questions so far? Another person who was balanced that we can look at, you know, it's a very popular story. We know the story of Esther, you know. And she was scared because we're talking about courage to be you. She was scared to go. But she got to a point and she said, I know I shouldn't go because if I go, this is going to happen. I will be killed, you know. But I need to go because my people are going to. Do you see that, you know, they are doing the this and the this, and they are bringing it together, and they stay in the middle, and they say, okay, you know. And she got to the point and said, okay, I'm going to go. If I perish, I perish. I'm going to go. Okay? So that is the balance where you're able to look at the two opposites of your life. You look at the negative and look at the positive and see how you can bring those two things together. That is what begins to make us. There are no balanced people made in heaven. We learn how to be balanced elements. You know? I was going to say something that one of the reasons why, you know, I keep going to college is because, you know, and I do things like this, is because many times they teach us how to be doctors. They teach us how to be lawyers, they teach us how to be counselors and teachers and painters and even cleaners. That you don't need to teach anybody how to be cleaning. They now have school of cleaning, you know. Yeah, you know, they have courses now to learn cleaning, you know. But nobody teaches us how to be human. They assume that we know how to be